Hey, what is up, YouTube? East Tactics here. Forgive me for the mess at my station here, but I just thought I would share something. So today I was out and about, and I was picking up my kids from their gymnastics class, and I noticed this RHINO Tech company next door. So I walked in the door, and basically there was a customer there, so I waited about 10 minutes, and while I was waiting, I did some research just to kind of look up, see if anybody else has done this, see if it works. I found one YouTube video where a guy used some cheaper stuff, like a truck bed liner spray, and it ended up becoming too brittle, and it cracked and broke, and he didn't like it, and he actually doesn't recommend using it. However, I couldn't find anything specifically on like RHINO lining, so I started digging outside of YouTube, and I found some forums and saw a forum that was talking about how RHINO lining is actually worked out pretty good, and he was happy with it. It did make the body a little heavier, but he was saying good things about it. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try, see if it works out, and bash with it and see if I can recommend using a quality, like professional grade bed lining on the underside of our RC trucks. And this is my new body that has been basically my shelf queen body forever, that I've been planning on doing the whole shoe goo, you know, combined with the drywall mesh and everything like that. But however, that's gonna take me a good hour and a half to 2 hours. This is going to be a matter of me dropping it off and picking it up. And RHINO lining is seriously like durable stuff. So I figured I would just create a quick video to let you guys know that this idea is inbound, and the next time I drop a video on this, you'll actually see the end result. So okay guys, so I decided really quickly I would just go ahead and tape this up myself, because I think that I could save some money. When I go in there and say, hey guys, you know, I've already got it taped up, this should be cheaper. You know, I'm more likely to get a little bit of a better deal. Like right now they quoted me 50 bucks, but that was with them doing all the taping. So I'm gonna kind of swing my cards in a way that says, hey, you know, I've taped this up for you. Maybe you can do it for, you know, 25 or 35 bucks. I will let you know what ends up happening. Either way, I would suggest before you go to like your own local RHINO liner dealer near you, because they are a franchise and they are all over the world. So there's probably a decent chance that there's a RHINO lining company near you. Tape your body up yourself, get it all set and ready to go, because when you go in and you've already got that done, I highly doubt that their team regularly quotes these types of things, and so you'll probably be able to get a much better deal. It shouldn't be anything more than 50, and now that I've done my own taping, I think it's going to be a little bit less. So real quick though, what I want to show you is you do want to use a good tape. Like this right here is frog tape. It's actually a really good tape when it comes to taping things off. People use it for painting their walls so that none of the paint bleeds into or through these little cracks. So it's designed really well for that. So after you get it all taped up, you can kind of just quickly go around the whole body. What you want to do is you want to go and you want to look at like spots like this right here. You see how the body, it's probably hard to see. You want to just make sure you go along the edges with your finger and get it as close as possible. See the difference now? Run your fingernail even along the whole edge like this, just to make sure it's got a nice stick to the very edge of the body. And then after that, just to be thorough, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put an additional layer of tape so that it's higher, like this. That way these guys don't have to say, oh, well, we had to retape it because it wasn't taped good enough. All right, so I've got this all taped up here now. As far as the holes here, all these holes that are in the body, I don't really care if they spray over those, because I'll just go through later with a Dremel and cut those holes out myself. I would make sure that when you take yours in, you tell them the same thing, because if they think they have to tape those holes up for you, they're going to charge you more. So I would just say, hey, go ahead and just spray over those holes. Don't worry about them, and I'll Dremel out the holes when I get it back. One of the things that you are going to want to do when it comes to these holes is you're going to want to take your tape and you're going to want to put a piece of tape over these holes, okay? And also you're going to want to like rub really well around it, just like even use your nail. Make sure it's nice and sealed around that whole hole. And then do that to all 4 of your holes. So this one, and then your back holes. Also, I don't use these holes though because I screw on my caps, but obviously you're gonna want to tape these up the same way right here, and then you're gonna repop through your, banana clip like devices. So anyway, I just want to bring that up really quick. Now I'll get back to the video. All right, guys, check it out. It is done. And honestly, my first impression is I am absolutely blown away. This is awesome. So they actually, they did go ahead and kind of do more of an advanced version tape job over it. I'm sure my tape job helped in assisting them to just kind of throw this on a little bit quicker. I don't know. Either way, when I showed up with the tape, already on the vehicle or on the body, it kind of left that impression that I was trying to save money, right? So if you guys do this, I highly recommend taping up the body yourself. So he ended up charging me $30, which is awesome because this is totally worth $30. Now, you can see, I also did tell him when I dropped it off, don't worry about the holes in the different miscellaneous holes, because I'll cut those out myself. And I also told him not to, trim it out, not to, remove the paper, just kind of spray it for me and I'll deal with all that stuff. So that's all lends to the idea of making it to where they'll only charge you 30 bucks, which, you might even be able to get your local RHINO guy to do it for less than 30 bucks. But I still feel like 30 bucks is completely worth it. So now you can see that the body ends right here. So this stuff is just excess, and I could tell you right now, this material is flexible, 100% flexible. Like, you can flex this stuff and keep doing this to it and just like pinching it and pinching it and pinching it, and it's not cracking. This is perfect. This means that I'm not gonna have to worry about coming down hard on it, on the top of my body and just cracking everything. So let me go ahead and, start carving this thing out, pulling the paper off and trimming it up so that it's clean and ready to go. One of the things that's crucial, and I think that is super important to know about when you go and get something like this professionally done, they actually put a primer coat down first to prime the slickness of the body, and then they put on this RHINO coating. And so you can see the primer right here. It's kind of a gray tone, and this is just something that the most of the time when you're, the average guy that's gonna do this DIY with like spray on stuff, they don't think about that. They don't think about putting a primer on, let alone a professional grade primer that you see right here, this stuff. So that's huge. And this is why this whole method of getting your body beefed up from a professional RHINO applicator is what I really want to point out as a defining difference between the average Joe that's tried to put truck body liner under their RC car and had problems. The other thing that is crucial to note about RHINO material is that it actually is a flexible material that does have flex. So you think of buying, I've heard of people using Flex Seal because, they think it flexes, and it does, but it doesn't have anywhere near the strength as this RHINO, at least the professional grade RHINO application or the material. There's another product out there that's that's kind of known for being a quality grade truck liner bedding, and it's called, it's called Linex. So one of the key things, if you look up RHINO lining with Linex, the biggest characteristic between the two that people say is that the RHINO has more of a softness to it, and whereas the Linex it's more rigid. And so you might run into that issue, you might not, with Linex if you were to do your body with Line X. But the beautiful thing about the RHINO material, especially the professional grade stuff, is it's flexible. And I am super impressed right now. Like, this is game changing. And again, it cost me $30, taking it to a local RHINO dealer. And so I highly recommend doing it. I could already tell you right now that this is going to make an insane difference. And for 30 bucks, you know, rather than spending basically 2.5 hours of your life gooping up your interior of your body with shoe goo and then trying to stick it down with your drywall mesh, you can just spend $30, drop it off, and then the next day you've got this. And yeah. So let me just throw this out there, since I'm not going to be using this stuff. This is still a really good method. Takes a little bit more work, but I will give this stuff away right here to my next Patreon subscriber that, you know, supports my channel. I'll send this to you if you support me. So make sure you mention that in a note or something like that if you hit me up. Hey guys, I am at it again. I'm dropping this little clip into one of my videos to let you know I'm doing another East Tactics giveaway for the mod compilation of all of the random tactics that I've incorporated over the last 1.5 years. If you really want to know what's inside the box, just jump over to this video right here really quick, get an idea. All you need to do is just leave a comment in this video, and between now and the time that I create my next video, I will go in and just do a random selection of whoever left a comment, and that person will win the box. Simple as that. So it might be a week before I make another video, it might be 3 days, doesn't matter. I'll just go ahead and randomly select anybody that's left a comment in this video. If you want to go ahead and subscribe right now, just make sure you hit the bell and hit the like button for me, okay? And for those of you that want to dramatically increase the chances of you getting this box, I am going to be doing a second drawing for anybody that actually supports my channel. So if you drop into Patreon and you pick any of the tiers to support my channel, all those individuals that do that between now and my next video will be in a different, much smaller pool of people to have the random chance of winning this box. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And now I'll go ahead and get back to my video. Thanks, guys. Anyway, let's get this cleaned up some more. Man, this is awesome. Just grabbing it and going like this, just peeling it off. That actually works really well. I'm just tearing it off at this point. I mean, obviously I'm gonna go through and clean that up quite a bit, but oh my gosh, this is so awesome. You can just literally tear this stuff off. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to go back and clean it up and get it really pristine, but getting in with an X-Acto knife could be your like final touch, because I'm finding that it works pretty good. Yeah, you can see some of that primer. That first coat they put in does an amazing job adhering to the underlying original kind of plastic, and then their RHINO liner is designed to adhere to that really, really well, like so, which is cool. Like I said, you can spend as much time as you want getting this perfect, but then you got to remember that this is just a basher. This is just, you're just gonna go beat this thing up. You know, at the end of the day, you're just gonna beat this thing up. So one of the things that I'm gonna do, just because it's pretty simple to do, is I'm gonna take a black marker around the edges and just kind of edge the body. Obviously, you don't have to do this, but I just think it's kind of gonna make it look a little bit nicer, you know, at the end of the day. But I mean, you might be able to get in there and scrape off some of this stuff, like the primer itself. So I decided for this section right here, where you want these holes for ventilation, instead of taking my X-Acto knife and trying to cut slits in this, I'm just gonna take my Dremel to cut these holes out. You might be able to find more uses around this whole body with a Dremel, I don't know, but I'm gonna use a Dremel for this. All right, guys, check it out. This is the completed body. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that one of the things that I read when I was kind of just doing research on RHINO lining, and actually any lining for that matter, everybody says that a lot of the quality has to do with the applicator, the person doing it. So this company that I found here, they did a really good job, again, putting the primer down, putting the RHINO top on top of it. So, you know, hopefully if you guys actually go to an actual RHINO like truck lining dealership, because they are a chain, you get the same quality and the same standards. I don't see why you wouldn't, but this is definitely a massive improvement, and it costs $30. And honestly, I don't think it's adding a whole ton of that much weight. Like, I was a little bit worried that it was going to add a ton of weight to the body, but it does add some weight, but it's not anything worth screaming about. So you can just tell that this is insanely more sturdy. I am extremely happy with the outcome of this. Again, RHINO lining done by a professional, and you might want to make sure that you ask them to, you know, that they do the undercoat with the primer, which, you know, keep that in mind. Like, if you got a guy that doesn't say anything about the primer, or if, you know, when you present it to the shop and you say, hey, you guys do put a primer on this, right? You don't want them to spray the RHINO lining onto the body without that primer coat. So make sure that's done. But yeah, this is, I mean, you can tell this is like way stronger. So let's put her on. Hopefully we shouldn't have any issues. I mean, like I said, it is thicker, so. I do actually need to cut out a section back here because of my tower supports. So for those of you that have this tower support back here, one of the things that you might consider doing is basically notching out a section right here. Like so. That way she fits on. There we go. I use these right here for those of you that have noticed, and you can pick these up in the Arrma Kraton V4 parts list. It's pretty far down the list, so just scroll and you'll find it. These just screw on like so. Yeah. I definitely am confident that this body is going to withstand quite a bit. Now, I still think that even though I've done this to the body and added this durability, that I'm going to go in and put. So here's my old body right here. You'll notice how I put a pad here and I put some pads right here. I think that I still might go in right here and stick another one of these right here. I still cannot tell you how good this feels and how solid it is. Anyway guys, that is a wrap on this video. I super appreciate you watching this, and I was actually planning on doing a couple of bash sessions with this just so I can give you guys a solid review. But I can tell you right now, I give you my thumbs up on it. This is absolutely perfect. It's amazing. East Tactics out.